we talked about Ohm's law in simple circuit. Simple circuit is a circuit which consists of a energy source and a single resistor. In today's session, we are going to talk about circuits which contains more than one resistors. Now the current in the circuit depends on two parameters. One is the voltage of energy source and second is the equivalent resistance of the combination of resistors in that circuit. Now this equivalent resistance depends again two parameters. One is the value of individual resistance and the second is how these resistance or resistors connected to each other. Resistors can be connected in two different ways. One is in series and another is in parallel. Okay. Now let's take resistors in series. Now let's consider three resistors are connected sequentially. This is R1, R2, R3. Now connect these three resistors with energy source, a battery. Okay. The current I will flow through the circuit. This I will go through sequentially through R1, then through R2 and then through R3. There is only a single path to current to flow. Right? This type of arrangement of resistors is known as a resistors in series. The current in the circuit can be calculated by Ohm's law by using, like, if potential source has a potential difference or voltage as a V, the current I can be written down as a V upon Re, where Re is nothing but the equivalent resistance of circuit. Okay. So here two things. One is the current I flow through each resistor is same because there is only a single path. The second thing is the total voltage of the energy source, battery, will be distributed among these three resistors. So if V1 is the voltage drop across R1, V2 is the voltage drop across R2 and V3 is the voltage across R3. The total voltage drop across resistors are V1 plus V2 plus V3. Now these individual voltage drop again can be calculated by using the Ohm's law and applying that Ohm's law to specific resistors. Now let's take to find out the voltage drop across R1, where current in the circuit is I or current through that resistor is I. The V1, the voltage drop across R1 will be IR1. Similarly, the voltage drop across R2 will be V2 equal to IR2, right? And for V3, it will be IR3, right? So total voltage drop across a combination of these three resistors will be equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. And this total voltage drop across these resistors is same as a potential difference or voltage of the energy source, because this voltage is applied between these 2 points is same as on these 2 points. So here we can write down V as a voltage of energy source, which is nothing but the current in the circuit and equivalent resistance of the circuit. And here if we put this value for V1, V2 and V3, we can write down this as a IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3, right? And this, if I take common I, it becomes R1 plus R2 plus R3, right? So we can write down the equivalent resistance of three resistors in series, right, is equal to the summation of individual values of these three resistors, right? So this is basically a formula for resistors, or to find out the equivalent resistors, a resistance of a circuit which have three resistors in connected in series. Okay, so here actually we come to know three things. One is the current I, this is current I, flow through all the three resistors which are in series same. So I is passing through R1, R2 and R3. The second thing is the total voltage drop across these three resistors is equal to the summation of voltage drop across three resistors. And finally, the equivalent resistance of the circuit is the summation of the value of these individual resistances. Right, now let's talk about, consider about a special case where you have R1 equal to R2 equal to R3 and takes its value is R, means same resistance is added 3 times in the circuit. The equivalent resistance in this case will be equal to R plus R plus R, and this is equal to 3R, right? So you see the series resistors in series basically is being used where you want to increase the resistance of the circuit. Okay, so why we want to increase the resistance of the circuit? Generally we want, when we want to reduce the current in the circuit. Okay, if we want to reduce the current in the circuit, we have to add resistors in series. Okay, because by Ohm's law, right, V is equal to IR. So for a given potential difference or voltage in the circuit, if I want to reduce I, right, I have to increase R. Okay, so in that type of cases we use it. Now let's consider a simple numerical so that it will give you more clarification about how we use the resistors in series when you have real situations. Okay, let's consider two resistors. Okay, here are two resistors which are 2 ohms and 4 ohms. Okay, and let's connect this circuit with a battery source. Okay, we connected this as a battery source. So current I will flow through the circuit. Here let's consider the voltage of the energy source is, maybe let's take 12 volt. So the current will flow through the circuit and there will be voltage drop across R1 will be equal to V1 and this will be V2. Okay, let's consider that. So here 4 things we have to measure. The first one is the equivalent resistance of the combination of these two resistors. The current I flow through the circuit. The third one is the voltage drop. Voltage drop across individual resistors like R1 and R2. Okay, and finally we'll measure the energy consumption rate. Energy consumption rate, okay, in the circuit, or we can calculate the energy consumption rate by each individual resistors. So let's start. So what we have the energy source voltage 12 volt. We have resistance R1 is 2 ohm, R2 is equal to 4 ohm. Right? Now the equivalent resistance RE as per our whatever we have, if resistors are in series, we need to use this formula, right? So addition of individual resistors. So RE will equal to R1 plus R2, which is nothing but 2 plus 4 equal to 6 ohm. This is done. Right? Now the current in the circuit I as per Ohm's law will equal to V, the voltage of energy source, divided by the equivalent resistance in the circuit, and this is equal to 12, which is 12 volt, and equivalent resistance is 6 ohm, so 6, so it's a 2 ampere. So current flowing in the circuit is 2 ampere. So we measured the current. Now the voltage drop R1 and R2 across two different resistors. To find out the voltage drop R1 and R2, let's consider R1 here, which is nothing but 2 ohms, and current is I, which is 2 ampere. Right? So if we apply the Ohm's law for this part of the circuit, what we'll get? V1 equal to I R1. Okay, I is 2 ampere, R1 is 2 ohms, so this become 4 volt. So what potential drop across R1 is equal to 4 ohm. Right? Now voltage drop across resistance R2, which is 4 ohm. Okay, again the current is same, 2 ampere, and the V2 as per Ohm's law applied to only this circuit. Okay, only this resistance. So I R2 is 4, so it becomes 2 into 4, 8 volts. Okay, now the total voltage drop equal to V1 plus V2, which is nothing but 4 plus 8 equal to 12 volt. Okay, so now you see here the total voltage drop is 12 volt, which is nothing but your voltage of energy source, right? So total voltage drop across these two resistors is 12 volt, which is nothing but the voltage of your energy source. The last thing is we want to find out the rate of energy consumption by individual resistors. Okay, now here the energy consumption rate because of this R1 will be equal to E1, and that is I square R1. I is 2 ampere, R1 is 2 ohms, so E is equal to 2 square into 2, so 8 joules per second. Remember, this is a rate of energy consumption. Okay, so joules per second. Similarly, for R2 is a 4 ohms, and this is 2 ampere current. Right? So E2 is equal to 2 square into 4, so this is 16 joules per second. Now if I total it up, the total consumption of circuit load will come out. So total consumption rate of energy, this will become equal to E1 plus E2, and this is equal to 8 plus 16, so this is 24 joules per second. So this is the rate of energy consumption by these two resistors in series. Now we want to check this, cross verify how much the energy supply rate by the energy source, because both of these things should be equal as per the conservation of energy laws, right? So the energy supplied by energy source is E, can be given by same formula, I square by RE. Now this RE is the equivalent resistance of that circuit, right? So here current I is 2 ampere, so 2 square, and RE actually we calculated, right? So here we calculated this RE is a 6 ohm. So here the RE is 6 ohm, which is a equivalent resistance of the circuit. So this become 4 into 6, that is 24 joules per second. Now you see this is nothing but the same as this one. So energy consumption is equal to energy supplied. Okay, so that means our calculations are correct, right? So this is all about your resistors in series. Now let's take resistors in parallel. Okay, so resistors in parallel, let's consider 3 different resistors. Here one R1, then this is R2, okay, and the third one is R3. Okay, and These resistors, one end of every individual resistor is connected at one place A, and the another end of each resistor connected at point B. Okay. Now let's connect these point A and B with an energy source, a battery. The current I in the circuit, when it's reached to junction A, it is split into three different parts, I1, then I2, and this is I3. Okay. The voltage across point A and B is same as the voltage of this energy source, which is nothing but V. The voltage across A and B, or voltage across each resistor, is V, same. Okay, so basically what is this? The V1 equal to V2 equal to V3 is equal to V, the voltage of energy source. The second thing is the current I in the circuit is the addition of the currents in individual resistors. Okay, so combination of resistors where you connect one end of each resistor at one place like A, and the another end of the each resistors at another point B is known as a resistors in parallel, and in this case the potential difference across each resistors is same as like a V, and the current in individual circuit, if we take I1, I2, I3, the total current in the circuit is the summation of these three individual currents. Okay, now if we apply the Ohm's law for each resistors like R1, the current is I1, the potential difference across this resistor is V. So we can write down I1 as a V upon R1. Similarly, for resistors R2, right, the potential difference across these resistors is V, right, and the current is I2. So I2 is equal to V upon R2, and similarly I3 is equal to V upon R3, right. So total current in the circuit is given by I equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3, right, and this can be written as V upon Re. Re is the equivalent resistance of this combination of resistors, and I1 is, again I can write down from here, V upon R1 plus V upon R2 plus V upon R3. So the 1 upon equivalent resistance equal to 1 upon R2, 1 upon R3, right. So here the reciprocal of equivalent resistance of the circuit is equal to the summation of reciprocal of each individual resistor in the circuit, right. So this is a formula which is being used when you have resistors in parallel. So there are three things we know in this parallel circuits. One is the voltage drop across each resistor R1, R2 and R3 is same. It's the same like V here, right, is same. The second thing is the total current I is equal to the summation of I1, I2 and I3, which is this one. Okay, this is 1, this is 2. And the third thing we come to know that the formula for equivalent resistance is given by this formula. Now we have a special case. What is a special case? When you have R1 equal to R2 equal to R3. Okay, then in that case 1 upon Re become 1 upon R plus 1 upon R plus 1 upon R if all these three resistance equal to R. So in this case 1 upon Re will become 3 by R, or you can write down Re equal to R by 3. This is an important stuff. Here if you realize that if I am adding resistance in parallel, basically the equivalent resistances keep on decreasing. So this type of combination we generally use where you want to increase the current in the circuit because you are reducing the resistance here. So current will increase as per Ohm's law, right? Because current is nothing but V upon Re, right? So basically what you're doing, you're reducing this, correct? So you're increasing this. So whenever you want to increase the current in the circuit, you need to use the resistor in parallel to whatever existing resistors are. Okay, and the case for series resistors is opposite to that. Series resistors is used to decrease the current in the circuit, right? And so whenever you want to decrease a current in the circuit, you add a resistor in the series. Okay, now let's take an example. Let's consider 3 resistors. Okay, so here this is 2 ohms. Let's take second resistors, let's take 4 ohms, and third resistance, let's take it 12 ohm. Okay, now connect these combination of resistors with an energy source. Okay, so here the voltage of this energy source, let's take 24 volts, and when you connect it, the current I will flow through here. And consider this as a R1, this is R2, this is R3. Okay, and now let's consider current I1 flow through this, I2 flow through this, and I3 flow through this. Now we have to find out again 4 things: the equivalent resistance of this circuit, the current I flow through the circuit, the current in individual resistors I1, I2 and I3. And the last thing we have to find out, the energy consumption by individual resistors, okay, E1, E2 and E3, and check if the sum of these individual energy consumption is equal to the energy supplied by the energy source. Okay, so here to get the equivalent resistance, okay, we have formula. So let's put the value just to know that what are the values are. So R1 is equal to 2 ohm, R2 is equal to 4 ohm and R3 is equal to 12 ohm, right? And the voltage of energy source is 24 volt. Okay, this is data we have. So here equal to 2, 1 by 4 plus 1 by 12, so it's become 12. So 6 plus 3 plus 1, so this become 10 by 12. Okay, so it means R is equal to 1.2 ohms. Okay, we got the equivalent resistance of the circuit. The first thing is done. Now second thing is the equivalent, the current in the circuit I, right? To find out the current in the circuit I, we have formula as per Ohm's law. The voltage of energy source, which is nothing but 24 volt, right? And the equivalent resistance divided by equivalent resistance of the circuit, which is 1.2 ohm. So it become 20 ampere. Okay, the volt per ohm is nothing but ampere. So we calculated the current in the circuit. Third thing is we have to find out the individual currents I1, I2 and I3 in individual resistors. So for doing this, because we have to find out individual currents, for doing this we will consider these 3 resistors as a single elements and we apply the Ohm's law. Let's take this is R1, right? So R1 is equal to 2 ohms and here current is I1. So if we apply the Ohm's law, means for this resistor, so V1 is V1 equal to V, because potential difference is same across all resistors in this case. So here the I1 is equal to V upon R1. 24 divided by 2, so this become 12 ampere. In case of R2, which is 4 ohm, again current I2 and voltage drop is 24, right? So I2 becomes 24 divided by 4 is 6 ampere. And we apply the Ohm's law for the third resistors, which is R3 is equal to 12 ohm, right? So I3 becomes 24 divided by 12, so 2 ampere. Now if we add these 3 currents, the total current I in the circuit, so I1 plus I2 plus I3 is become here 12 plus 6 plus 2, so it's become 20 ampere. Now you see if we add up the 3 individual currents in 3 individual resistors, it's become same which we calculated previously here, the current in the circuit. Okay, so that means our calculations are correct and matching. So the last thing we want to accomplish is the energy consumption rate across these three different registers. So if E1 is the energy consumption rate in register R1, then it will become I1 square R1. So here, if we see I1 is a 12 ampere, so 12 square into R1 is 2 ohm, so it's become 144 into 2, so it's become 288 joules per second. Now the energy consumption rate because of resistor R2 will be become I2 square R2. So the current in second resistor is 6 ampere here. Okay, so 6, so here 6 square into 4 ohms, which is a resistance R2. So 6 is 36 into 4. So it becomes 144 joules per second. And similarly E3 will be I3 square R3, and it become, so let's I3 is 2 ampere, right? So we come back, and this is 1 minute. So this is 2 square into R3 is 12 ohm, so it becomes 4 into 12 equal to 48 joules per second. Okay, so now we add up all these three to get the total energy consumption because of these three resistors in parallel. It becomes E1 plus E2 plus E3. This is the total energy consumption rate by this setup, and it's become 288 plus 144 plus 48, right? So if you add up 300, 400 or 480 joules per second. Okay. Now to just verify the whatever energy consumption rate because of this load is same with the energy supply rate by the energy source is there or not. To get the energy supply rate by our battery, we can find out E is equal to I square Re. Re nothing but the equivalent resistance of this combination of resistors. So current in the circuit is, we know here we calculated, right? So the current was there 220 ampere. The equivalent resistance is 1.2 ampere. So ohms, 1.2 ohms. So 20 into 20, so 20 square into equivalent resistance is 1.2. So this become 400 into 1.2. So this become 480 joules per second. So here you see that energy supplied rate by the battery is same as energy consumption rate by the combination of these resistors. Okay, so this is all about the resistors in series and parallel. Just to summarize, we accomplish 4 things for both type of circuits. We measure the equivalent resistance, and we know now how to calculate the equivalent resistance for a circuit, the current I in the circuit or individual currents, okay, in different resistors. Third thing is voltage drop across each resistors. It's a V1, V2, V3, right? And the last thing we calculated about the energy consumption rate by different resistors or by individual resistors in the circuit. It may be series circuit or it may be parallel circuit. So E1, E2, E3 like that. Okay, and then we verified that the total energy drop is equal to the total energy supplied by the battery or not. Okay, so this is what this session is covered. In the next session, we are going to talk about how to convert complex circuits into simple circuits. Okay, so that you can calculate all these parameters for your complex circuits. Please click like button if you like this session and subscribe us for similar type.